Hey everybody, you're looking at the Nokia 8. This is the newest flagship from Nokia. You know, a name that if you're older than 30, you are very familiar with because this was likely your first cell phone. So, Nokia somehow fell behind Apple and disappeared from the smartphone game for a few years, but now they're back. And they released several devices earlier this year, but they're a bit underpowered. The Nokia 8 does not. So this thing has a Snapdragon 835 chipset, a 5.3 inch Quad HD display, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage, and two 13 megapixel cameras on the back, and a 13 megapixel selfie camera that can record selfie videos in 4K resolution. That's pretty amazing. So other than the fact that this phone has really dated bezels, really large bezels by 2017 standards, it's a beautiful phone. Otherwise, metal back that's curvy, fits very nicely in the hand. I like how the camera are placed. There's not much of a camera bump. There's a fingerprint reader here that's fast and accurate, and I like that it also doubles as a home button with capacitive buttons on the left and right. So at the bottom of the device is a single speaker grill and a USB-C charging port and a mic. On the right side, it's a power button and volume rocker. On the top is a headphone jack, and on the left is it's a SIM card slot. So in terms of software, the Nokia 8 runs Android 7.1.1 and it's basically stock. I was at a Mobile World Congress in Barcelona this year and I interviewed one of the chairmen of Nokia, and they told me that they believe Google is like the best software company in the world, so they don't want to mess with it. So this is basically stock Android. You see that it has all the circular icons of the Pixel. You swipe right on home screen, you get this Google Now launcher page, and everything else, like all the apps are Google apps. So there is no gallery app, instead there's just Google Photos. So there is no redundancy with duplicate apps. So as mentioned earlier, the Nokia 8 has a front-firing camera that can record selfie videos in 4K resolution. And in general, the cameras of this phone are really good. Not as good as like a Samsung Galaxy Note 8, but pretty damn good. So you jump into the camera app. I like that it's very easy to use and intuitive, and it actually has a bunch of different settings too. So you have a camera shutter button, a video recorder button, and a gallery button. And then you tap on the top, you get more options. So you have manual controls and bokeh, live bokeh, which obviously two cameras on the back. Obviously you can shoot bokeh because every phone does that now. Panorama and beauty mode. And you go to the video. Same thing, you have slow motion, video, or time lapse, and up top you see this little icon. You can tap it to switch between the main camera, selfie camera, and also duo. Duo is you can record videos or take photos of using both cameras at the same time. It's a little bit gimmicky, but it might be useful if you need. Also, you see this little mic icon up top. Tap into that, you'll see that you get to switch between using the front mic or the back mic. So that's pretty cool. The only other phone I know that lets you adjust the mic direction while recording videos is the LG V series. And also there's a live icon here. You tap that, you see the shortcuts to Facebook and YouTube. So for streaming videos straight to Facebook and YouTube. So that's pretty cool that it's kind of, the camera app, it caters to content creators. So as mentioned earlier, you can take bokeh effects. So let's take a sample shot right here. I do think the bokeh effect comes out quite good. You are able to adjust the level of bokeh with a slider. So you see that the camera shutter is actually a bit slow, so that's one of the problems I have with the phone, but otherwise this bokeh image turned out very well. In general, the photos taken by the Nokia 8 are good. So this pictures of the flowers here, macro shot, really great detail and color accuracy. This photo of the street is very vibrant. Again, great colors. So now when you move to low light videos, that's where it suffers a little bit. So this is a picture taken in my dark living room. It's not a bad shot considering how dark my living room was at the time, but now take a look at this exact same shot taken by the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So So it's a lot better on the Samsung phones, right? So the Nokia 8's camera is not as good as a Samsung camera, but still very good. Videos you can record in up to 4K resolution. So let's check out some samples. 4K resolution recording with the Nokia 8. Performance wise, I've only used this phone for about a day, but I think performance it's pretty good because Snapdragon 835 chip and very clean software, so I expect this to continue to be very good. I ran a test on Geekbench. The score is 1920 single core, 6132 multi-core, so that's very good. Everything zips around really fast on this phone. The display is really good, other than the fact that the bezels are kind of big, so it's not as immersive. But otherwise, color accuracy is excellent and viewing angle is great. I used this outdoors in the sun and it was bright enough to use. Of course, none of my videos are complete without testing the audio and video quality with a K-pop video. So here we are, another sister. So now this is 50% volume. Max volume. So there is no stereo speaker because I can easily muffle the speaker grill and everything sounds pretty weak. So it sounds okay, not the best speaker out there, but this phone isn't super expensive like a Galaxy S8, so I can deal with that. So overall, I don't even know what else is there to cover because this phone is quite basic. It ticks every box and it's a pretty good performer in every way, but you know, we have so many phones out and this phone doesn't really stand out. Like there is no bezel-less display. The bezels actually look quite dated and it's comfortable to hold, but there is no wireless charging. This phone is not IP68, so it's not waterproof, although I believe it is IP54, is splash proof, and I've only used it for like a day so far, so I can't quite tell battery life yet, but I'm assuming battery life should be pretty good because the battery size here is 3090 milliamp, which is good enough. So yeah, apologies if I'm not spending too much time on this phone. It's because there's just more exciting devices I'll have to test for now. I am actually currently testing the Huawei Mate 10. I will have the video up shortly after the launch event on October 16th. You know, Huawei Mate 10 is doing some exciting things, and then obviously ZTE has a new phone out that's doing some exciting things, and then there's the iPhone X and all that. So the Nokia 8, it's a very, very good phone. I mean, if this was like 2016, I would be in love with this phone. But in 2017, I have to be honest, I'm a little bored with the device. You know, if you have bezels like this in 2017, it's already like makes me think like, dude, what the heck, you know? And no stereo speakers, no waterproofing, but otherwise the camera's really good, although not as good as a Samsung or LG V30. So, but the price of this phone is not that high. I guess you can get this starting at $500, so it's cheaper than a Samsung or LG or Apple phone. But at the same time, you can get a OnePlus 5 or a Xiaomi Mi Mix 2 for around the same price too. So I might do a review of this later, or I might not, because like I said, I just have like too many things to test. But this is it, the hands-on of the Nokia 8. Thanks for watching.